Say all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of JMS who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. I want to talk about how true love is going to return, because right now Jake has an evil eye towards his brother. Is part of the curses of Deuteronomy. This is Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. So how Jacob is leaving his kids. If we look at the definition of tender, showing gentleness, kindness, and affection. So even the most gentle, kind, and affectionate Jakes, they have a evil eye towards their brothers and towards the wife of their bosom. This is why you have all these problems with relationships. You be hating your own damn wife and your own kids to the point where you leave them. And the same thing, can be considered of the woman. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness. So she don't even want to put her bare foot on the ground. She rather wear something around her foot because she's so delicate and tender. Her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom and toward her son and toward her daughter and toward a young one that cometh out from between her feet, which is them living waters. And toward their children. So I meant that this living waters in a physical sense, not the spiritual sense, because these scriptures are the living waters in the spiritual sense. And toward their children which ye shall bear, for ye shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. And it's something that's going to happen again. These so-called black women that love their children, they're not gonna pet to eat them, when a family gets real bad. But the point I'm trying to make is Jake has an evil eye towards his brother. It really made me think about this when I was reading Tobit chapter 7 in the Apocrypha, because Tobias had sent Tobit, his son, to collect some money that was owed to him. And on the journey, he took an angel with him to basically help accompany him on his journey, and they went to Ecbatane, and I'm going to read it from the top. This is Tobit chapter 7. And when they were come to Ecbatane, they came to the house of Raguel, and Sarah met them, and after they had saluted one another, she brought them into the house. Then said Raguel to Edna his wife, how like is this young man to Tobit my cousin? And Raguel asked them, from whence are ye, brethren? To whom they said, ye are of the sons of Nephthalim, which are captives in Nineveh, or Nineve. Then he said to them, do ye know Tobit, our kinsman? And they said, we know him. Then said he, is he in good health? And they said, he is both alive and in good health. And Tobias said, he is my father. So Tobias said, Tobit is my father. Then Raguel leapt up and kissed him and wept. Now you have to imagine, he was so happy to realize, that was his son, because he reminded him so much of his cousin. He actually leapt up, he kissed him, and he wept. That's how happy he was. These are opposite of the curses when, Israelites had love for each other, which is the opposite of what you have now. And you're gonna have that same love and compassion, and you're not going to have an evil eye towards your brother when these curses are fully lifted. Right now they're not really fully lifted, and it makes me think about what happened today with Jake. I was dealing with some Benjamites and they basically tried to lie, and they said I basically I was taking something to them, and they called up and they said I threw it and it burst, and I spilled it. Obviously I didn't do that. They basically lied, and they tried to steal when I was supposed to be doing my job, and they see I'm doing my job. I'm in the corridor, and these Jakes, these Benjamites are sitting there smoking the ganja, just being completely generous. And it's funny because they were on that Muslim tip, but the Muslim tip's not really putting you in that sense of mind where you understand what's really going on. But anyway, I'll keep going on. And blessed him and said, thou art the son of an honest man, of an honest and good man. And when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept. So when he heard that Tobit was blind, because he had lost his sight, because he laid on the wall, and it just so happened that that's how the Lord wanted to play out. But when he found that out, he wept, and likewise Edna his wife and Sarah his daughter wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully, and after they had killed a ram of the flock, they set store of meat on the table. Then said Tobias to Raphael, brother Azarias, speak of those things of which thou didst talk in a way, and let this business be dispatched. And you can read on from there if you want. But the whole point is, back then, Jake had love for each other, to the point where you'd see your cousin's son, and you'd be so grateful to know that that's your it filled you with joyous emotions. Now you just have an evil eye towards your brother, man. Most Jakes can't even have a conversation without it feeling that violence is gonna occur. Because even when I was having a conversation with them, because I took something there I wasn't supposed to, and then I went back to go and get it, and they said we don't have it. And then to try and deflect from that, they've said, basically, I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, and I destroyed property and all of this stuff, and I didn't do no such thing. I might be pissed off or whatever the case may be, but I'm not gonna act a certain way. And it was like, what did they say? They said, I was standoffish or stuff. I was abrupt. And I said, did I say anything rude to them? They said, oh, you didn't. They didn't say you said anything. You were abrupt, and you were dismissive, and that could be part of the curses of me being having an evil eye towards them. But it wasn't even that. I was dealing with something else was going on, so I was pissed off. But I didn't try to take it out on them to the point where I'm trying to get people fired from their job. That's that evil eye towards your brother. And even because he basically lied and pretended that something didn't happen. So I was pissed off, and I saw the dude, and I recognized one of them, and we was talking. And I said, this woman's sitting there talking, expletives or whatever. And the dude was like, yo, like, that's dude's mum. And I was like, oh, snap, like, sorry, dude, And he was like, obviously I'm talking like that. I didn't know it was mum. When it was mum, I apologized and I stopped speaking like that. But at the same time, it's like the dude was trying to exacerbate the situation. Trying to cause a problem. There's like 4 dudes or whatever. And the Most High hasn't given us a spirit of fear. So I saw them smoking weed. So I just look at Jay like he a degenerate anyway. Even though, that's a part of me having that evil eye towards my brother. Because I'm looking at him like, you be smoking trash bag, So I'm not really free of the curses in a way that I think I am, but it's just because I'm aware of it. I try to be cognizant of my thoughts. Jake don't even realize he's under the curses. So when these demons, come on them and they start thinking these thoughts, they run with it rather than checking themselves. Which is why you're supposed to examine yourself every day that you be in the faith. I was looking at these pictures of so-called Jake fighting, man. Jake wanna fight, everything apart from fighting to be free and learning these scriptures and learning why these things are happening to you. You want to go to the Lord's sword and beg him for mercy, when really and truly you should be going to the Lord and begging for mercy, not to his sword. So that's pretty much it. The idea of being brotherly towards one another, it's not gonna come on this side, man. Because on this side, with how everything's set up, everyone's trying to steal from each other. Is a very, very low vibration in this society. Everyone's trying to one up on each other and steal and get things for free. You're trying to put somebody else in hot water just so you can get something that's worth £100 for free. Like, you'll ruin somebody else's life, for a free meal. Like, people go to this. You could be a black dude. You work in a store and another black person will come there and they'll be like, oh, you know what, yeah, you were rude to us, and you might get fired over it just because they wanted a free meal. That's how low people in this society think, and these are all part of the curses, man. And these things are not going to get lifted until we're back in. you know, where that true love is really gonna come in, because we're not gonna have to fight over scraps and have to stab each other in the back to establish some kind of normalcy or semblance of success, you know. And everything here is damn near fake. So Drake is just bugging out for no reason. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to bring out, man. You know, so that true love is coming, man. But we gotta bear patient with it, you know. And I like to say, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. You know, double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect.